Lifting fine images with a clear stamper can be difficult. We are going to go through some troubleshooting ideas for helping you to figure out where your challenges are. First and foremost, it's very important that you make sure your plate is perfectly clean. Polish remover or a plate cleaner, and over top of those images, just in case there's some dried polish in there. If you have dried polish in your image, it is going to affect you getting a complete image when you lift. Now, if you don't have a plate cleaner per se, you can make your own with polish remover and acetone. 50-50 is usually a pretty good ratio. And make sure when you're choosing your polish remover that you select one that doesn't have added oils. There are lots of companies these days that are adding oils to their polish removers to make it better for your cuticles, which is great, but it makes it nightmare for stamping. All right, our plate is clean. We don't need to worry about any dried polish in our images. We're going to now make sure that our stamper is clean. Clean your stamper, clear stampers especially. Sticky pad is what we have to clean ours. If you don't have our sticky pad, just a lint roller is good. Make sure all of the oils are off of here. Any leftover images from your last stamping, just make sure it's nice and clean. There we go, ready to go. Okay, the next thing to look at is your polish. Make sure you're using a proper stamping polish. Proper stamping polish will make a big difference to how your images lift. Our polish is actually designed for a clear stamper and has 4 times the amount of pigment from a normal stamping polish. Makes a big difference. Okay, the other thing about your stamping polish, and you'll see me say this in other videos, make sure it's mixed. We get lazy, we forget, and if your polish separates a little bit, it's not going to perform properly. Okay, so our polish is mixed, our stamper is clean, our plate is clean, and we've got a nail ready to go. The only thing left to do is to prime our scraper. When you get one of our scrapers brand new, it is recommended that you take a fine buffer of some sort and prime these edges slightly. When we manufacture these, they're punched, which leaves a little bit of roughness around the edges. So if you come with your block buffer or a nice file and just take off those little rough edges, it'll make a big difference to how you scrape. All right, let's go ahead and lift an image. Now, one of our brand new plates is the Mythical Creatures plate. It is CJS 107, and we have some of our finest images on this plate. Right up here in this corner, we have a dragon and a Pegasus, and just teeny tiny fine little highlight or low light details here on the second layer. Let's go ahead and show you with that one first, and we're going to do the base layer and then we'll go ahead and do the top. We're going to do the base layer in white. I've already pre-mixed my polish so it's ready to go, and I'm going to overtop my image. Now when I come to scrape, I'm going to press down on my plate. Look how much bounce there is when I press down on that plate. You want to make sure that plate is nice and flat so you get a perfect scrape, which in turn makes sure you're working on a nice hard surface. Having something like a terry towel or something underneath your plate can cause a little bit of wow in your plate, and you won't get as good a scrape. Okay, so I'm pushing down. I'm going at an extreme angle with my scraper, and I'm going to apply decent pressure, not too hard, not too soft. Over we go. Roll over top nice and light. And we're going to go straight over top. Let's go over this nice orange one. And I actually managed to lift both. So we're going to go ahead and place both, and then we'll do the details over top separately. So I'm just going to press and hold, make sure that this transfers over, and then release. I am working over top of cured gel polish, but you can work over top of just a normal nail polish as well. The benefit of working over something that's cured is if you mess it up, you can go ahead and remove what you did and start all over again. Okay, now I didn't actually hit these images over here, but I am going to clean it up just to make sure. And let it dry. If you use your polish remover or your plate cleaner and there's a whole bunch left pooling in there, that again will affect the nail polish that you then put over top. It can mix with it and cause a strange lift as well. So make sure your plate's dry. Now I'm going to use black so that we can go over top of these and you'll be able to see exactly. Nice and well mixed. So I'm going to go over top of the entire image. Sometimes I only do the top third, but with something this fine, I want to make sure that I've covered the whole thing. I want to make sure that I know exactly where my stamper is and that it's clean and ready. I'm going to push down on my plate, and here I come with the scrape, and quickly get in there, roll over top, and take a look. Every teeny tiny little detail. Okay. I'm not turning that at all because I want it in place to go now over to my base layer. And that's a little trick when you're working with layers, is go straight from your plate straight to the nail, and with your subsequent layers straight from the plate straight to the nail. You don't want to be lifting up an image and turning your stamper because you don't know how much you turned. If that makes sense. And there we go. Look at all those little details in our cool little dragon. Okay, so let's do the Pegasus exactly the same way. Make sure that's clean just in case. Scraper's clean. I just clean it off right on my cotton pad. Polish is mixed. And over top we go. My stamper is close at hand and clean and ready. Push down on the plate. Scrape really quick. Don't waste any time. Really light. I'm barely applying any pressure at all when I roll over top of that image. So I'm not mashing down. I'm using basically the weight of the stamper and rolling over top of that image after I've scraped it. Okay, so now I've been talking a little bit. We're going to come over here. I'm going to take my time, shake it into place, as I always say. And get those little shadows and details where you want them. Press and hold. And there they are, transferred to the nail. Okay. That's sort of the finest of the fine. We also have a very delicate image on this plate that I want to show you. That's a full coverage. I'm not going to layer it because what I want to show you is actually all these tiny little details and how we're going to pick those up. Do this same thing here. My black polish. We're going to fully cover one of these nails. I'm just going to kind of do the top third. Make sure that stamper's cleaned. Press my plate down. Scrape towards myself. Now nice and light. Such a delicate touch to lift. And let's go over top of the yellow one here. Decide where I want it. And commit. So I'm going to press and hold, and you can see every fine little detail here coming to light. And there we go. Well, I hope that that helps. If you're having trouble lifting our delicate images, please leave comments in the box below. especially if there's something else you'd like to see us do a video on. We'd be happy to oblige. So thank you for watching today, and we will see you in the next video.